On3.com. On3.com is where you find Ivan Maisel, and he's on Twitter as well, at Ivan_Maisel, and he is with us on the Pepsi Hotline. Welcome in, Ivan. I hope you're doing well today.
I can confirm that if it's colder, you do live longer, because it's so cold up here, I feel about 100. So.
What is the temp right now where you are, and where is that?
I live in Connecticut, and I am looking out at a dusting of snow, so it's in the 30s.
Yeah, you didn't have that in Mobile as a kid, did you, Ivan?
Did not. Maybe twice. Yeah.
So Ivan, as Jim mentioned, has a terrific article out on Bryce Young, talking to Bryce and his parents, and T. Martin, who recruited him at Southern Cal. What did you learn about Bryce Young that surprised you, that maybe you didn't know going in, and you're like, wow, that is kind of surprising about Bryce Young?
Well, a few things. I think one, what intrigued me and convinced me that I should do the story was just how he looks in the pocket, guys. It struck me probably in the Miami game, but all year I have marveled at how there's never any sense of him moving in a hurry. If you think of when a Johnny Maisel or a Kyler Murray got in trouble, they look like, boop, 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 just very quick moves and juking, and Bryce just never looks like that. Everything seems measured, and yet nobody ever quite gets a hand on him. And that sense of calm and presence really intrigued me. And in talking to a T. Martin, who recruited him in 8th grade, and Chris Peterson, who's now on Fox, that was the Washington Huskies coach, who recruited him in 9th grade, they saw the same thing back then. And that really made an impact on me.
One of the things, Ivan, when I'm watching a game with somebody that really hasn't watched Bryce, they always bring up his size. How small is that guy? They list him at 6 feet. There is no chance he is 6 feet tall. And in your article, you point out the fact that he always played with older, bigger kids, and that really helped out.
Yeah, his dad, Craig, had a great line that said, if you're the best player in the gym, find another gym. And they constantly moved him up to play against bigger kids. And when I talked to T, he talked about when Bryce quarterbacked the team that made it to the championship game of the USC summer camp one year. Well, what he didn't tell me was that it was a team of 12th graders, and Bryce was in middle school.
Wow.
And and that's remarkable. And, Craig said to me, basically what would happen is the coach would say, well, we got this kid from high school who's starting, and this kid from high school is backup, but we'll get him some reps. He said, and before too long, Bryce would end up running the team. And I think he benefited obviously from increased competition, but also being around older kids. I think he matured a lot faster.
That maturity has echoed out of Tuscaloosa all year, Ivan. We keep hearing stories about how he doesn't want he wanted to wait until some of the notoriety came. He was waiting his turn. He was respectful of other leaders on the team. But you write about his calmness, and you've covered athletes for a long, long time. Can you compare his calmness to other great athletes that you've covered in time? Does he remind you, his spirit of sports, does he remind you of anybody?
He really doesn't, and I think that might be the greatest compliment of all, that he seems to be a singular guy. I mean, I think there's always a player or every year or two that I meet that really makes an impact on me in terms of not only their ability on the field, but their maturity off the field. And Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck. I mean, these are guys who are just different. And Bryce is like that. I mean, he sees a bigger world out there than the football field, and yet football is very important to him. And I think that's that part of him, I think, is reminiscent of those guys.
Ivan Maisel is with us. On3sports.com is where you can go and find the story about Bryce Young. If you don't, we've sent it out today. So On3Sports is the place to go, at Ivan_Maisel on Twitter. Ivan is with us on the Pepsi Hotline. It's easy to attribute all that, though, to the fact, and I was unaware of this until I read your article, that his father has a master's degree in counseling. And you would say, well, of course, that's what makes him calm. But some of that is DNA. I don't know that you can train that type of calmness, even with a master's degree in counseling.
No, and I asked his dad, is this nature or is it nurture? And he said, oh, that's a good question. And he started talking, he said it's really that Bryce is a lot like his mom, Julie, in that sense. And that's a good thing, according to Craig. And, but I think Craig was good about, giving him tips along the way. And Bryce is an only child of two very intelligent, involved parents. And that usually works pretty well.
He's a California kid. He had a strong commitment to USC. What ultimately was the decision to flip and come south?
I think a couple of things. I think Steve Sarkisian went in there and connected with him, and I think he wanted to find another gym. I think, and I think this was Sark's doing, but convincing him that Alabama is the place that you need to be to play the best and with the best. And some kids don't want that. Some kids want to be the best in their gym, but some kids want to find the best and try to be the best there. And I think that's definitely something Bryce has.
Interesting to me, away from Bryce Young, your daily briefing today, you talk about Nick Saban's coaching assembly line. And I have a feeling Josh Gaddis will go down under the Jim Harbaugh tree, like Jim Bill Fisher. We debate, is it Saban, is it the Bowdens, all of that stuff. I don't get caught up in that, but it does seem like Josh Gaddis is on his way to being the next young coach that somebody's going to hire. What do you think of Josh Gaddis as the Broyles Award winner?
Well, I think Michigan has done really well this year on offense. If you think about how far they've come from last year, I think, not only are they able to run it in a physical downhill manner, the way that Jim Harbaugh has always liked, but they can hit you with the big play. And, that combination has been very effective. I wonder, I assume, look, we all assume every assistant coach, every coordinator wants to be a head coach, but some guys take their time. Brent Venables has been a head coach for, 4 days now. And we've all been predicting that for 15 years. And, there are other guys like that, Tony Elliott is just now getting a really hard look from UVA, and we've all been saying for years he would leave Clemson to be a head coach. So I have no idea, what's in store for Josh Gaddis, but he's young and he's clearly, Broyles Award's a big deal. That's he'll be one to watch.
All right, do several things here. Number one, go follow Ivan on Twitter at Ivan_Maisel. Read his article about Bryce Young at on3sports.com. That's on3.com. And his book about his late son, Max, I Keep Trying to Catch His Eye, a memoir of loss, grief, and love, gets great reviews. An excellent piece by Ivan, very personal piece by him. So go read that as well. Ivan, thank you so much for the time. Wish you all the best, and have a great holiday season.
You too. Good luck with the show, guys. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Ivan. Take care. Ivan Maisel with us on the Pepsi Hotline.